Should you drink coffee if you're depressed? It depends, and that's what we're going to explore in this video. How's it going, guys? It's Chris with healthyconsumer.com, back with another health empowerment video. This video is going to focus around coffee and whether or not it might help you if you're coping with depression. Just a quick little background about my story. I've been coping with generalized anxiety disorder and major depression for greater than a decade, and I've come a long ways. I think there's been a lot of up and downs and times where it just was very tough, but I think that I've come a long ways in my personal development. I'm hoping some of the things that I've learned can help you along your road to recovery too. I think one of the quickest places to start is, if you're not a coffee drinker already, don't start. I mean, some people caffeine is still a drug. A lot of people have trouble controlling their consumption of coffee. So if you're not drinking coffee already, I wouldn't start. That being said, there have been some large studies that they've looked at coffee as a use for helping prevent the risk of major depression and severe depression. Particularly, there was a journal article that came out in 2015 that was looking at over 10,000 Koreans in a large cross-sectional study that showed that coffee had an overall positive effect on their depression. This has been replicated in other studies as well. But the thing that you have to explore in yourself is, where do you lie on this spectrum of depression and anxiety? Is there an anxiety component in your life too? So if it's more than just depression, a lot of times generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder tend to overlap with each other. So if you are coping with both generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder, I think it's a better question to ask, not so much how does coffee help the depression, but does it hinder your anxiety symptoms, and how do you cope with those? So how do you respond to caffeine? How have you responded to caffeine in the past? Are you able to find a comfortable level of caffeine where you're not completely just off the top, out of the charts, can't concentrate? I will say personally, for me, I have found that a low level of caffeine seems to help me just get out of those deep depression symptoms. And I think that's incredibly important, that if you're having a day where you just don't have the motivation to get up, you don't have the motivation to, like I've talked in my previous videos, get up, get out, and get moving. If you can't do those three things, then maybe a little bit of caffeine is not such a bad thing for you. So again, I think it goes back to how you respond to caffeine, and particularly how you've responded to coffee in the past. If you found it helpful and you don't have a great deal of anxiety, then it might be beneficial for you in small doses. If you do have generalized anxiety disorder, then I would certainly proceed with caution. Maybe an even better question to ask before asking if coffee is beneficial for your depression is, what's going on with your sleep schedule here? Have you established a regular sleep routine? Are you getting to bed at a regular time and getting up at a regular time? If not, we've got to get over that FOMO, that fear of missing out, why so many people just stay up late at night and watch mindless hours, myself included, mindless hours of TV or scrolling through social media, Facebook, things like that. Coffee can be it's a central nervous system stimulant, so it can have a very taxing effect on the central nervous system. And if you are coping with generalized anxiety disorder and you're just further trying to push that along and you're tired and you're not sleeping, then that's a problem. So always put your sleep first. And then if you're just a little sleep deprived, just because, well, it's life and we can't always get all the sleep that we need, then maybe a little bit of coffee along the way might be helpful. I hope this was helpful, guys. I try to approach generalized anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, gut health, sinus health, all these chronic health conditions that are becoming more common from a lifestyle perspective. So if that's something that interests you, consider subscribing. Hit the little bell so you never miss another video. And if you're looking for something more structured, I also make online courses for helping people cope with generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. And we also have a bi-weekly support group. So check that out on our website at healthyconsumer.com. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys.